find some software, bring it into your business, and 100% start to project and track your projected future revenue income into your business. Because if you're not, like I said to you before, you are flying blind. G'day team, Josh here. Hope you're having an epic week. So today I want to talk to you about business fundamentals, really. And it's through the lens of understanding your projected revenue forecasting. We need to understand. And so for some of you watching this video, this might be super basic, but I want to kind of cover it because I think sometimes we forget the fundamentals of business and we get distracted in sometimes the high and lofty, the bright and shiny things. And we sometimes don't spend enough time, one, getting the business fundamentals down pat, and two, tracking and understanding the metrics that actually matter in our business. I think we can get really quite distracted in the day-to-day running of our business, project delivery, putting out fires, answering client demands, doing all the things that we think we need to be doing. And when we come to some of the bigger picture stuff in our business, we're so overwhelmed with all the other stuff that we're doing that we put it in the too hard basket. And I think sometimes if we just pause and stop and think about some of the key basic metrics and business fundamentals and work out what are the 2, 3, 4, 5 things I need to understand and track on a weekly basis in my business, create and set up a dashboard and work out ways that data can be fed to you either through your team or through software or through systems. Once you've set that up, you can then very, very easily and quickly every single week have your finger on the pulse in terms of where your business is going. And one of those key fundamentals is projected revenue forecasting. And I want to talk to you about this through a couple of different lenses today. And so, why is this important? Well, fundamentally, if we don't know our projected revenue in the business, and I mean projected out for the next kind of 12 months. And, some of your projects won't be that long, and 100%, once you get past that 2 or 3 month kind of projected revenue, it starts to really taper off and become super sketchy in terms of the reliability of that data. But we need to understand the projected revenue forecasting in our business because it allows us to make decisions. Even though you run a small to medium sized business, the decisions that we make today most likely don't come to fruition for another 1, 2, 3 months' time. And if all of a sudden, because you're not clear on your revenue projected forecasting, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, we have a massive hole in our revenue this month. How are we going to fill it? Is very unlikely unless you can pull a bunch of magical strings and bring forward work from a client or do something else or jag a project that, needs to start immediately. It's very, very unlikely that you'll be able to fill that hole. But if you're clear on your projected revenue forecasting and what's coming up in the business next month, the month after that, you can make decisions then now in today's time based on that information. That means that when you get to that point, it's not an issue. So for example, if you predicting out your revenue forecasting, you can see a massive hole in your revenue in 3 months' time. It's like, cool, I can plan for that. It's 3 months away. I can start to call clients now. We can start to ramp up the tendering and bid process. We can start to look at proposals that we've already won, that is already work signed up. Maybe we can have a chat to a client about bringing some of that work forward. Or, maybe as an example, your revenue for next month is above budget, so you've got plenty of fat in next month's budget. Maybe you delay a bit of work and push it into the following month. But unless you know that information, and unless you're tracking your revenue forecasting, and I'll talk in a second about ways that we used to do this, but unless you're tracking it and keeping an eye on it every single week or fortnight at the very least, you don't have that information. Similarly, if you're looking at your forecasting in 3 months' time and you're like, whoa, our budget is $300K a month and we're forecasting $400K in 3 months' time or $500K, we've got to start hiring. We've got to start talking to people now to try and, bring on new resources and ways of dealing with that massive hump in the revenue. And is that projected to keep going up? So therefore we can make a comfortable hiring decision based on information that's happening in the future. But if we don't have that and we don't track it, how can you make those decisions? And so business owners who don't track, and so there's fundamentals, there's revenue each month, there's profit margins. there's width and team performance and percentage of invoice. Like there's a bunch of kind of key metrics that we get our boardrooms clients to track. And one of them is forecasted revenue. So again, if you aren't tracking forecasted revenue, you're kind of running your business blind because it's basically just a month to month kind of thing. And it's basically gut feel in terms of, oh yeah, the team feel, they're pretty busy and like we just won that project. So that feels pretty good. As your business grows, and like that might be okay for you. I mean, I just don't think it's okay. But anyway, that might be okay in serving you right now if you're a single business owner and you've got a team of 4 or 5 people. But as you grow and you're putting more reliance on general managers, team leaders come into place, you become less in touch with the day-to-day running of your business. And you want to know that you can ask your GM or ask your admin support to print you out a report, and within a click of a button, you can have your finger on the pulse in terms of what's coming up in the business. You need this information. You need to know what your projected revenue forecasting is to give you comfort on the business and where it's going, to be able to make informed decisions about your business in the future and do stuff today to try and mitigate things that are coming up in the future. And so like I know this is basic. And so if you're already doing this, great. If you're not, you need to do this. Like there's heaps of kind of very basic software out there that links to your timesheeting system that allows you to. And so the 2 ways that I encourage my clients to do this is you get an agreed fee proposal. Fee proposal comes in, it's got all its sub-projects and it's like, DA works, operational detail design, bit of construction supervision, or like maybe there's a report or 2 in there. You get all that fee proposal broken down, and then it is either your responsibility as a business owner, or if you've got team leaders or project managers running those projects, it's their responsibility to go, cool, I think that it's a 100K fee proposal. I think I'm going to spend 10 grand of that next month doing that task. I think I'm then over the next 2 or 3 months, I'm going to spend about 60 or 70 grand. So you spread out that 60 or 70 grand over the next 3 months after that. And then after that, we're into construction supervision. So then there's going to be a bit of a trickle of work. You can do that in 2 minutes. Forecast out your projected revenue for each project that you have on your books. And that gives you a very, very clear indication. And yes, like once it gets 3 months out, it gets a bit sketchy. And like you might get a call from your client and say, Josh, that project that we just signed you up for, we need it done ASAP. Can you condense that entire program? Yep, Mr. and Mrs. Client, 100% we can. Jump back into your forecasting tool, bring it all forward. Or Josh, we're going to delay the second phase of that project for 2 months because of these reasons. No worries, Mr. and Mrs. Client. Jump into your forecasting tool. And just amend it. It is the lifeblood of your business to understand where your revenue is coming from and how your revenue forecasting is looking like. So that's signed up work. You can then take it a step further into doing like a weighted fee proposal. So for example, if you've just issued a fee proposal to a client for 100K and you're like, I think there's kind of a 50-50 chance of us getting that project. You can also add that in there too, in terms of your anticipated revenue from fee proposals. And you can just break that reporting up. So you can do reporting based on guaranteed work that's signed up. We have a signed contract for that work. We can run our forecasting and get a pretty comfortable view on the revenue over the next 3, 6, 12 months. Then if you wanted to, you can add in the proposals as well. And so if there's a 50% chance or 20% chance of you winning that project, add that stuff in too, based on when you think that project will start. And again, with those 2 metrics and checking that on a regular basis, you are pretty solid in terms of understanding the likely performance of your business into the future. So if you're not doing this, find some software, bring it into your business, and 100% start to project and track your projected future revenue income into your business. Because if you're not, like I said to you before, you are flying blind. So Tim, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, if you're not doing it, need to start tomorrow. Cool. All right, that's it from me. Look, if you want to keep building your business on your own, we have a ton of free resources like the website, the podcast, the YouTube channel, all those sorts of things to help you keep doing your journey on your own. But if you want to get, some help, if you want to build your business faster, if you want to shortcut the process, if you want to stop heading up dead ends and hitting up against roadblocks and all that sort of stuff, love to invite you to come and join our boardroom coaching program. So business owners, purely of engineering consultancies to help you grow and scale your business. If that's you, if you're curious about what boardroom might look like, reach out, shoot me a message. Let's have a chat about how Boardroom could help you build your business faster. Have an awesome day.